at 792, left turn through link 44, stand
305.
London, Heathrow, gateway to the world.
Heathrow is a huge melting pot.
It's one of the biggest hubs in the world.
Flying to 194 destinations in 82 countries.
Singapore, which class? It's at the front.
The size of a small city, it's Europe's busiest airport.
It's very quickly that things can turn into chaos.
As Heathrow gets ready to build its third runway, this year is set to be the airport's busiest, with more than 76 million passengers.
Next, please.
Meaning, to stay on schedule, a plane has to take off or land every 45 seconds.
We're busy all the time. It's relentless.
We're going to have trouble. We've got trouble.
Operating at full capacity, there's no room for error.
This is a disgrace.
Even the smallest problem can cause chaos.
Starting to sweat.
And cost the airport and airlines millions of pounds in fines and lost revenue.
Every minute, every second here is money.
But working against the clock, there's an army of staff.
We're going to try our best to get you there.
From plumbers
Starting to get that little smell of sewage now.
to pilots
They're just such pretty machines.
and specially trained police,
Until we've left the plane, you cannot leave the plane yourselves.
all battling to keep Britain's busiest airports flying.
Southern 732, just caution, Bangladesh 777 on your right will move through link. It's 53 on 407, Roger, your pushback is approved.
2016 was Heathrow's busiest year ever, with 38 million passengers departing.
Keep moving round. Just keep moving round, sir.
With such huge numbers, the airport is only ever a heartbeat from grinding to a halt.
You're shouting, you're not letting me speak.
shouting.
You're not
I'm
even
not
getting,
shouting.
you're
It's
letting me
because
get
you are
right in.
lying.
So they employ passenger troubleshooters like Numan to try to stem the tide of chaos.
Hello, Uzbekistan? Yes. We're expecting 4,000 to 5,000 passengers in a space of 1.5 hours, and that's just through check-in.
Numan's job is to try to keep passengers happy, even when things aren't going to plan.
Uzbekistan, just into here for me, please. I absolutely love what I do. I wouldn't change it for anything. Just follow into there.
It's 4 p.m, peak time for the terminal. And the airport is operating at full capacity.
I've just been called on the radio to go up to check-in for one of the airlines where I believe the flight's been cancelled. We've got a few destructive passengers. I'm just going to go in there and find out what's going on.
Air India flight 171 to Newark, New York, has been cancelled due to a software fault.
This is where the crowd is.
40 passengers are demanding to be rebooked on flights today. But the airline says there aren't any more flights to Newark until tomorrow.
There is no seat available. Try to understand this.
You've checked, there's no seats available?
She's already checked. She's
100%.
Yeah.
The passengers want the airline to look at other New York
So you don't
airports.
mind going anywhere in New York? You don't mind anywhere?
Any airport. Just start the process already.
Yeah, just start.
Only JFK. Any airport. Just get me to New York.
This is a disgrace that they tell us there are no tickets to New York. It's not true. All the flights have tickets to New York. All the flights.
4 hours on from their original departure, not one passenger has been booked onto an alternative flight. And Numan is determined to ease the passenger pain.
So you don't mind going anywhere in New York? You don't mind anywhere?
Any airport. Just start the process already.
Yeah, just start looking at it. She's like,
So basically the flight's been cancelled. There's a number of passengers who've got different needs of getting to their destination today. So I've arranged with the agent now to start having a look at other flights that can get them to other airports in New York. Do you want to bring it to the side and we'll have a seat over there?
Now they're up against the clock. The last check-in to JFK closes in less than 3 hours.
Yeah.
What is your position here?
I'm Heathrow Passenger Experience Manager.
Passenger experience.
For Heathrow Airport, yeah.
It's been a great experience.
Hopefully it will get better.
One person in desperate need to get to New York is art dealer Nick.
So hopefully they're going to rebook us on another flight, but there's limited availability on other airlines, and there's very limited staff here. There's just one person to deal with passengers. So I'm at the back of a long queue. I don't know if I'll be flying to New York tonight.
With only 4 flights to New York remaining today, and 40 passengers still to be rebooked, it's a race against time.
It's just another day. Just another day at Heathrow.
Just come round and lower your bags for the dog, please.
Across Heathrow, Britain's front line is protected by dogs, sniffing out everything from drugs to explosives. Today, it's cash.
But we're basically looking for any money that's involved with criminal activity, so that be that either the importation of drugs, human trafficking, weapons, money that's involved with terrorist activities. Cash is involved with, you know, it's such a huge area.
With the help of Springer Spaniel Ruby, Dave and a team of Border Force officers are looking for passengers carrying £1,000 or more in cash. These passengers will need to prove where the money is from to make sure it's not linked to crime.
We're at Terminal 4. We're looking at the Vietnamese flight to Hanoi. There's been quite a few previous jobs, previous fines going out to Vietnam. So we're going to have a little sniff around the passengers and hopefully we can find some money.
Today, the officers have just 30 minutes until the flight has to depart.
Okay.
Not long to sniff out the cash, decide if it's suspicious, and then seize it.
Hello. Just let me have a little sniff of your bag here, okay? Money in here?
No.
Money in here?
Yeah, 2,500.
2,000?
500.
Good girl. Okay, bring your bags down to the officer.
It's not long before Ruby gets a whiff of cash, and it's down to Dave's colleague Rani to get to the bottom of the situation.
What is the reason for your travel?
I come back to my family.
You're going to see your family. And what do you do here for work?
I'm work in a nail shop.
Nail shop? Your nail shop? You work for somebody. Okay. The dog is looking for money.
Yeah, I
right?
have money.
How much have you got?
2,500.
2,500? Where's this money come from?
Pardon?
Where has it come from?
From work.
From work. All yours?
Yeah.
This is it? 2,500? I'm going to have a look in your bag, yeah? You said you had no money? You had no more money. Now where's this money come from? I asked you.
I have a bank saving for my child.
You've got bank saving for your child. How much in this? Madam, answer me.
Yeah.
Another 2,500?
Yes.
Is there any more money in
No, 100%.
Any money in that bag?
No, 100%.
Any money in your check-in bag? Okay, right.
The woman claims a friend helped her save the money, but can't prove it.
You don't call her.
No, I don't phone. I don't.
Do not use your phone now. You do not use your phone now. Do not use your phone.
15 minutes before the plane must fly, and Rani has to make a decision whether to confiscate the £5,000.
If I take this money away from you, if I seize the money, right, will you fly? Are you going to go or you're not going to go?
I go.
You go. Right, guys, the time is 10:51. I'm very pleased with the result. She knew there was more money in the bag. I want you to sign there for me. The sooner you sign, the sooner you go.
The money will now be investigated. If it turns out to be legitimate, the passenger will get it back.
Right. That was a good amount.
Keeping planes moving is Heathrow's #1 priority. One small problem on the runways and the airport's in trouble. Airside operations make sure this doesn't happen. From magnets picking up stray metal to patrols collecting litter that could jam a plane's engines. Today, driver Hugh has one of the least popular jobs.
It's not the cleanest of jobs. We're going to be emptying a few cesspits this morning.
Overflowing cesspits could seriously disrupt the airfield.
In the summer, as soon as they see this vehicle, all the windows shut.
Heathrow has 5 cesspits that are regularly filled with sewage.
You dump, we pump. Right, now, they'll start drawing now. So if we pull it back this way, any feel it? Put your foot on it. What normally goes down a toilet is what you'll find down there, but you'll find litres upon litres.
Each of the cesspits needs to be emptied manually twice a week, including one with some posher poo.
Because this is where they've situated the Royal Suite. So aircraft will come straight off the runway, straight in, and they get an express departure and landing. We wouldn't be doing this if the Queen was going to be boarding a flight.
With 7,000 litres of sewage emptied, the job's done.
Sweet corn there.
The gully sucker is full and needs emptying. Hugh's unloading into Heathrow's main sewer. Whoever was here last has left quite a mess.
The aircraft sewerage comes off the aircraft. They're supposed to pipe it straight into here. And as you can see, they've just dumped it there. Absolute filth. I was going to have a curry tonight, but I think I'll swerve that.
Mauritius 53 on 407, roger, your pushback.
Is approved. Face to the north. Just advise your ground crew at 777 will park on 409.
Air traffic control oversee the takeoff and landing of over 1,300 planes every day.
No, we're busy all the time. It's relentless, it really is. You know, we're from 6 a.m. to 11:30. There's just continuous traffic.
But today they've got one less plane to deal with. The 12:30 to Newark has been cancelled.
So they have a certain window to get airborne. To push back off their stand, they will get fined heavily by the airport because they've been sitting on stand for so long.
How many passengers are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Any more Air India passengers?
Time is running out for Numan to help get 40 stranded passengers to New York. There's only 2 hours to go until check-in closes for the last flight of the day.
This is going to be very expensive for the airline. There's rebooking costs for passengers onto other flights. There's overnight stay at hotels, travelling to and from the hotels, food vouchers. This has got the potential of going into the hundreds of thousands.
Under EU law, if a plane's more than 4 hours delayed to a destination over 2,000 miles away, passengers are entitled to €600 compensation. Back at the ticket desk, time is running out for art dealer Nick.
They're saying there's no seats available on the replacement flights, but that's not true. There are many flights going to New York. I want to be on one of them. I don't care how, I don't need food, I just want to be there.
More than 600 flights are scheduled to depart Heathrow every day. But today, one of them is going nowhere. The 12:30 to Newark has been cancelled.
I'm just going to go to the Air India desk and see what progress we made, yeah?
Numan now has only 60 minutes to get the remaining passengers booked onto the last flight leaving tonight.
Most passengers have now been rebooked. We've got a last few that we're waiting on. We've done everything we can, so I'm just really hoping that they do make it. Let's just wait and see.
Still in the queue is art dealer Nick.
It's now 6 hours since we were supposed to take off, and I'm still stuck in the airport where I started, so I'm not feeling very happy with it.
Numan wants to make sure everyone gets the assistance they need.
You got your rebooking? Have you got off ticket?
No.
What are they saying?
It's some problem with her system because I changed my ticket. She cannot pay.
But, so what are they going to do about it now then?
Yes, she says she will try it, but after.
Kuntal urgently needs to get to New York for her father's funeral.
I don't need to go.
Look, 1 second. What's happening with the lady there? She needs to get to her funeral. She needs to get to her funeral.
No, the lady said she was going to sort it out.
But she has got a seat, yeah? She has got a seat. Yeah. Where to?
JFK.
Okay. Just want to confirm. And it's the 8:30 flight, yeah? It's the 8:30 flight. 8:15. Okay. So they have got a seat for you already. They're just having trouble, as you're saying, printing it off. But they have got a seat for you to JFK on the 8:15 flight tonight.
8:15.
Yeah, 8:15.
It is 2 hours.
Sorry?
It's 2 hours.
Yeah, so they've just got to deal with this last few people. Once they deal with this last few people, they'll get that print out to you, and then you can make your way, or they'll even arrange transport for you to get to Terminal 3.
As the last remaining passenger, a lot rests on Nick making his meeting in the morning.
Are you going to make loads of money in that meeting?
It's possible.
Is there bonuses involved?
Yes, big ones.
Do you remember me?
Well, I'm flying back with Air India on Friday, so if I make it successfully...
I'll be standing in the arrivals sign saying people that missed their flight, I'm here.
Nick's patience has paid off. After a 6-hour wait, he finally gets what he wants.
I'll sleep tonight.
What have you got?
Well, they've given me a piece of paper which might get me to New York if the next plane works properly and we take off. We'll see.
They finally have their tickets, but there's another headache for Numan. Getting the passengers to a different terminal.
They've got 35 minutes to check in.
Yeah, because 7:15 they close.
7:15, but they need to get there as well.
Yeah,
It's going to be...
we'll get in 10 minutes as soon as the vehicle comes.
It's 5 miles to Terminal 3. It'll take 10 minutes to get there, and there's no sign of their taxi.
You here for the Air India? No? Okay.
So how long have they got left before check-in closes?
25 minutes.
Hopefully we won't miss it. We'll see.
With 20 minutes to go before check-in closes in Terminal 3, the taxi finally arrives.
Thank you. Have a safe journey, everyone.
Thank you so much.
We've got 17 minutes to get there. So fingers crossed those last 6 will make it, and that's the end of it. That's the end of that disruption, and that was one flight.
Over the last 30 years, 50,000 people have tried to face their fear of flying by taking a specially designed course.
So many people.
Some of them even work at the airport, like Animal Welfare Officer Shannon.
Hello, Shannon Summerer. Thank you.
In an attempt to face her phobia head-on, Shannon's on British Airways Flying with Confidence course, held at Heathrow.
So I've just got my boarding pass for the flight later. I wonder if that's an aisle seat. When I'm on an aeroplane, thoughts just flood into my head. It will be like, oh, it sounds really bad, but it will be like images of me dying or people on the aircraft dying.
But if you look at the statistics, you are hundreds of times more likely to die in a car crash, several times more likely to be murdered by someone from your own family.
Along with 150 fellow anxious flyers, Shannon's getting a pep talk from one of the airline's most experienced pilots, Captain Steve Allwright.
I'd like to dispel this morning with some of the myths around flying. If all the engines stop, we can actually glide for 100 miles perfectly safely. The seatbelt sign, ding dong, it doesn't mean imminent disaster.
After 2 hours of flight theory, it's time to put the learning into practice.
I'm still a bit dubious about getting on the flight. I'm determined to do it, I am. Never flown by myself before, never flown without a family member or a friend, ever. Didn't ever plan to because just too scared. book or something. Something to read or like take my mind off it.
Okay, so last couple of minutes, we're going to close the door any second now. You're all doing brilliantly. One last group breathe and squeeze, I think. So here we go. Let's breathe out. 2, 3, 4, and in. 2, with the bum squeeze. 3, 4, and relax.
Cabin crew seats, take off, please.
There's no going back now.
Are you breathing?
So you all feel the thrust of the engine coming. Here comes the power. And lots of noise. Everything's normal. Breathing and squeezing. Open your eyes and everything's normal. 80 miles an hour already. Everything's normal. Engine's working perfectly. Pilot's nice and relaxed. 100 miles an hour. 120 miles an hour. Accelerating faster than a Ferrari now. Everything's normal, lifting the nose, using the elevator, and airborne. Round of applause as we get airborne. Everything's normal. First thing we do, wheels coming up. It's reassuring.
I'm alright in a minute. Yeah. I'm on a plane by myself.
After 45 minutes flying towards Southampton and back, it's time to land at Heathrow.
Left again. Touchdown any second now. There it is. Big round of applause.
I feel really good now that I've done the course. I'm really glad I did it. And my holidays now, I can be excited about flying on holiday rather than being a wuss and panicky. So, yeah, good day.
The sleet and wet snow will clear east by 8 p.m. tonight, but the threat of ice will begin around 6 p.m. And persist throughout the evening and night.
Bad weather is threatening to bring the airport to a standstill. Already 80 flights have been cancelled in anticipation. Now the airside ops team must overcome the elements to keep the remaining planes flying.
What we're trying to do is gauge a window of opportunity if we can possibly anti-ice before the sleet and snow. But we're not 100% sure that's going to happen at the moment, but that is the plan.
They have 87 snowplows, 90 support vehicles and 20 de-icers at their disposal. One of which is manned by airside operations driver Hugh.
Right then, let's go and get my coat and then we'll go and de-eye the vehicle. We've got de-icer 4, your apple core.
Do you think it could be a long night?
It can be. We can be out there for quite some time. That's why they give us these little packages. A couple of packets of crisps, bottle of water, and I think a fruit bar, something like that.
Hugh has worked at the airport for over 40 years.
Snow is a problem not only for the runways, taxiways, etc. It's also a big problem for the airlines because the airlines have got to get the aircraft out if they can. The flights are going to get delayed. They've got to get their contractors in to de-ice them or their own staff. In the meantime, flights are going to arrive. Aircraft can't get out. In the meantime, we're doing our best to clear the runways, the turn-offs, the taxiways, the cul-de-sacs, etc.
The de-icer is a key weapon in the battle to keep Heathrow open in the winter. With a remarkable 45-metre span, the vehicle carries 10,000 litres of de-icer.
Yeah, ready to go.
Hugh can de-ice the runways in 6 minutes, but they have to be closed. Suspending takeoffs and landings will cause huge delays, and delays can cost hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Yeah, we're waiting for the call.
At Heathrow, the weather is deteriorating. Already 80 flights have been cancelled, and now the runways may have to be closed for de-icing, holding back hundreds more flights. Airside ops driver Hugh is poised for action.
Yeah, we've now turned from the rain. We're now experiencing sleet, and they're expecting snow to follow.
De-icing isn't a decision taken lightly. It costs around £80,000 to spray both runways.
Just let you know we're in position on mine. Roger, received. Stand by.
Now all Hugh can do is wait for the final call.
We're getting in position, and we're going to be ready to roll, brush the runway, and de-ice at the same time.
Now, let me turn the wheels.
As Hugh waits, the weather's creating havoc across the airport. Almost a third of Britain's exports pass through Heathrow. At the cargo terminal, a plane has just arrived from Moscow an hour late.
Go here, go back. The weather is atrocious today. It can be very dangerous. We've got a lot of heavy freight that comes on. We have engines sometimes way up to 14 tonne.
Their turnaround time has been halved. Freight coordinator Gary and loadmaster Chris have just 90 minutes to shift 100 tonnes of freight before it departs for Frankfurt.
We have about 13 pallets going off the airplane, and we have around 8 pallets coming onto the airplane. We have to move some pallets around for the loading sequence, and we have to watch the destination, we have to watch the weights. It's not just getting things on and off, you have to watch everything. Slowly, slowly, slow. It's like a puzzle, it's like Tetris, if you know the game. You have to be, flexible.
With the clock ticking and the weather against them, Gary and Chris take drastic measures to make up time.
We are going to open the nose cargo door because we are running a bit late tonight and we have to load some pallets to the nose. So that's a good opportunity to save some time.
How many back?
Put it forward, lower deck, 4 more pallets, then it will come to the high loader.
But opening the nose hasn't been enough to pull ahead. It's 6 o'clock, their scheduled departure time, and Chris needs to rebook his takeoff slot.
Jamie, we need some minutes more. We are ready to leave at 25 past. Is that okay for you?
Got to get a bucket with faith. Got a load of water regress in one of your pallets. The rain hasn't helped much today because it does add a factor into it.
With 15 minutes to go, they can't miss their new slot.
We've got 3 coming through the nose now. Cheers, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's 7:15, 45 minutes behind their scheduled departure.
We had snow, we had rain, every single element that could be thrown at us today. Everybody's going home safe, and the aircraft's about to go off to Frankfurt. So the big smile on my face lets you know that off she goes.
But like every other plane at Heathrow tonight, it'll have to wait for the runway to be de-iced. Hugh's finally been given the green light.
Right, let's go.
The ice to come up behind.
With 40 planes waiting to take off, and 40 planes stacked in the sky, Hugh has only 6 minutes to de-ice the 2.5-mile-long runway.
We're restricted to a speed limit of 20 miles an hour because of the size of the boom of the vehicle. Time is of the essence because aircraft are being held back, so the time we clear, it doesn't disrupt their travel. This is a little bit more exciting because it's live, and we've got to be very proficient and professional. We can't afford to get caught with our pants down. It's getting a little bit heavier now.
In the nick of time, Hugh manages to finish the job.
As you can see, we're getting quite a bit of sleep. All done. Another success story for the department.
Cleaning my desk because there could be like Ebola on here, there could be like, I don't know, anything, flu.
Senior customer service agent Carrie Ann is preparing for the busiest check-in of the week, a flight to Dhaka in Bangladesh.
Done. Thank you. Boarding's going to be about 5:30, okay?
Next, please.
Working alongside Carrie Ann is Selena, the airline's newest recruit.
Today's flight is full load, yes, almost reaching its capacity.
In the next 2 hours, they have over 400 passengers to check in.
The heat is going to be on in a bit when it starts building up.
With one of the most generous baggage allowances of any airline, Carrie Ann and Selena have their work cut out.
I've got a group of 13, so they're allowed up to 26 pieces of luggage. Do you have 26 or more? You'll have 26, okay. This is your bag, is it?
This is mine, my Spider-Man bag.
Spider-Man bag.
Most airlines allow just one bag. Today's passengers are allowed 2, weighing 20 kilos each. Any more, and they pay an excess of £6 per kilo.
Do you have the cash available?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
I'm afraid no. No.
Just tell them.
No.
Maybe please.
No, I'm really sorry.
So you've agreed to pay, but now you don't want to pay?
Yeah, I pay you.
Okay, so you're wasting time, aren't you? You need to go and pay. There's people that need to check in. You need to go and pay, then come back to me, collect your passport, and then you can go through security. Yeah? Okay, so go and do that now then, please, because you've wasted time.
With just an hour to go until check-in closes, big family groups are slowing things down.
Yeah, the queue's building, we're losing time, I'm starting to sweat. We're not even halfway. No, I've run out of luggage, tags. Not my stress, thank you. I think you learn to love it. You love the chaos. You love it. It's never the same. It's never boring. So, yeah, it's okay.
Well, we should close in 45 minutes. And let's see how we've got about 100 passengers left to check in 45 minutes. Right, passport ticket, please.
Next, please.
So you need to reduce the bag because it disables the belt. See, it's flashing. It's not going to go down the belt.
Today, more than 93,000 people are departing Heathrow.
Hi, how are you? I like your suit.
Thank you very much.
For customer service agents Carrie Ann and Selena, it feels like most of them are trying to take a flight to Dhaka in Bangladesh.
Probably the most challenging thing over here in this flight is trying to juggle bags and sending passengers for repacks or excess luggage.
Check-in is almost done, and with 90 minutes before departure, Carrie Ann heads over to the gate to board the 400 passengers.
It was watching programmes like this when I was younger, like airport and airline and things, and I just always thought that's going to be me. I want to do it. Right, let's open this gate.
Thank you. Straight down, please. Straight down, please. Thank you very much. Do you have any liquids in your bags? Any creams, gels? Lovely. Okay, if you'd like to take a tray.
Between check-in and the gate lies security, a vital piece of the jigsaw keeping the skies and country safe.
Please make sure you have no metallic items on you, any heavy jewellery, bulky belts, no coins or mobiles in your pockets.
Sean has worked in security at the airport for almost 4 years.
So we love the passengers here. Big cultural mix, new challenges every day.
Anything I put here is too big. This is too big. This is too big.
Tricky passengers, especially language barriers.
You can't take it on a plane. Do you understand what I'm saying, or you don't understand? You don't understand.
We get to learn our own sign language, hand gestures.
So this is all fine. This is not.
Drinks, we do this. Any drinks, any laptops, iPads, computers, like this.
Do you live in Saudi? Do you live there, or are you going on holiday?
No, finish.
Sir. Sir. Hello, sir.
Last year, Heathrow confiscated everything from knives to face creams to jars of jam.
Oh, wow. They're all for you. T4 watches.
Yes. Most times passengers think they've done something wrong, but it's basically the case of not knowing. So we're just here to try and teach them, educate them basically on the procedures, what we do here, why we do it, you know, and hopefully they understand. Hello, boys. Do you have anything sharp in your bag?
I'm not so sure because my mom packed this.
Oh, your mom packed it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is definite no-no, okay? All right? Did your mom put this in it?
Yeah.
Should call her and tell her off, okay?
This one is supposed to be checked in, so I'm so sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Moral of the story is don't let your mom pack your bag. Yeah.
Take your bag off, please.
Stiff the bags first, yeah.
Border Force officers also protect Heathrow's front line, and today they're still on the hunt for illegal cash.
Rube's biggest find, it's about 200,000 it was in a suitcase, going to America actually. She get a brand new tennis ball for that one she got.
While Ruby and Dave carry on their hunt, Border Force officer Prakash has had a tip-off about a passenger flying to China.
I need to have a chat with you, okay? Yeah. So I'm going to take you around in the room, and then I'll speak to you about your stay in the UK and ask you some more questions, okay?
He's been told the man could be carrying cash from working illegally.
You have been referred to us by one of my colleagues. Do you understand me? Sorry. Do you speak English at all, sir? A little bit?
Not very.
Okay.
With 82 nationalities passing through the airport, language can be a problem. Fortunately, they found someone who can speak Mandarin to translate.
Hello, madam. I'm one of the officers, so I just need to ask him questions. He doesn't understand what I'm asking him. Can you ask this gentleman, when did he come to the UK?
你是什么时候来英国的？
差不多10年。差不多10年。
He said came for 10 years, about 10 years.
About 10 years.
Yes. He came here by the plane, but he don't have any visa. Just came in.
Okay. We have evidence that he has claimed asylum in the UK, and his asylum case has failed in the UK.
I see.
This man has been in the UK illegally, and like more than 24,000 others last year, he's returning home voluntarily. However, the law prevents illegal immigrants from working, so any money earned must be seized.
Has he been working in the UK? Can you ask him?
你没有在这里工作？
厨房。
Kitchen, cooking.
Cooking.
Yeah.
How much money is he carrying?
你现在有多少钱在身上
1130块。
130.
1,130.
Yes.
Okay. Can you show me the money, please?
钱
Where has this money come from?
就是你这钱从什么地方来的？
哦，这个我有时候那个星期五六上班他给了一点，然后我回去的时候我朋友给了我。
Some of it is from his working, and some of it from his friends.
So he has been working.
Yes.
Okay, right. If you just let him know that I'm going to refer this to my office, and I'll let him know what the outcome is. Okay. Hello. Hi, it's Prakash from the cash team, Uniform 3. He's carrying £1,100, which he claims that he has got through working over here.
After liaising with investigators, the decision has been made to seize the passengers' money.
Don't forget your bag, free to go.
Investigators now have 3 months to prove the cash has been earned illegitimately. Otherwise, the money will be returned to the passenger.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. I appreciate your help, thank you.
That's great. Carry on, please. Sit, 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 sit.
It's common for the team to see passengers without visas. Some of them victims of crime themselves.
Come forward. That's fine. Thank you very much. It's okay. That's great. Thank you.
We do see quite a lot of exploitation over here. People have been brought by certain gangs and working, slavery. We, as enforcement officers, we have to adhere to the law of the UK, and in this instance, we had to take the money that he had earned here illegally for further investigation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May we have your attention, please? Beam and Bangladesh Airlines are pleased to announce the departure of flight BG2 to Sylhet and Dhaka. Please have both your boarding cards and passports ready for a final inspection.
Please keep your boarding card with your photo-case passport.
Thank you, bye.
Carrie-Anne and Selina have got just 25 minutes to board over 400 passengers to ensure the plane gets away on time.
Next, please. It's just to get everything on time. It's a bit challenging here because there is a lot of people that we are handling. There's a lot of wheelchairs, there are a lot of big groups of families that's kind of hard to get organised and everybody coming in on time. It's, you know, this is the biggest challenge here.
To make matters worse, the boarding scanner has broken, forcing Carrie-Anne to go back to basics.
2, 3, 4, 5. Just sweating like a pig. Just keep everything cool, keep counting, spinning out, so it's getting good. 2, 3.
But Selina's noticed a discrepancy in the boarding figures.
I think we are missing 2 passengers. 49A and 37C.
This is now a last and final call for Mr. Nurul Islam. That's Mr. Nurul Islam, travelling on flight BG2 to Sylhet and Dhaka. Please make your way immediately now to gate number 9. Your flight is now closing. Thank you. Is he with us?
One of the missing passengers has just boarded the plane, and Carrie-Anne thinks she spotted the other one at the far end of the gate.
Shall I push him through and we'll board him?
Yeah.
There you are, sir.
Yeah.
You got your passport with you, sir?
Yeah, everything there.
I thought you were getting wheelchair people. Who's
Yes, I know, it's right.
Okay. Okay, let's go then. So this is our final passenger going on board. It's nice and quiet. So it's nice. We've done it. It's over.